Hello friends, good evening. This is Leo and welcome to today's post-market report. Let's take a look at the Nifty and the Bank Nifty and how it has performed and where the buyers stepped in. We will look at all those details in today's video. So Nifty had a pretty good gap down opening. Nifty closed at 2440 and yesterday, and it opened at around 2480, which is almost like 150 to 200 point gap down, and it touched the low of 23,850, and from there Nifty has moved and it closed almost at the opening price. So Nifty has fully recovered, but still the gap down to be filled in. Okay, and let's understand that why the buyers chipped in and what's the reason for it in the order flow chart. Okay, so if we look at the order flow chart, we can see that there is a gap down here, and the sellers were continuously pushing the market down, right? And at some point, if you see that the delta, the max delta and the min delta, here if you look at it, the max delta and the min delta, right? There is a delta flip. So delta flip meaning that the hands are getting changed, either from buyer to seller or sellers to buyer. Earlier, seller were dominating right from the opening, right? And at this point in time, buyers chipped in and they started pushing the market higher, and they closed at the day's high at the end of the day. And this is a very beautiful concept, which we can see it only in the order flow chart. So this is the reason that, why the market has recovered. Buyers stepped in at these levels and took the market high, and took the market to the opening range. Okay, now let's go and take a look at the Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty had a similar setup, but the Bank Nifty closed at around 55,600 yesterday, and it has opened at around 55,100 almost. So it's about 500 point gap down, which is pretty huge. And when the market was trailing down at around 54,800 levels, market took support, and then the market moved from the 54,800 all the way up to 55,300. In fact, it has closed above the day's open. Okay, so it was a very good recovery, right, from the Bank Nifty perspective. So now let's go and take a look at that on the order flow chart to have a clear understanding of why this has happened. And now let's go and take a look at the order flow chart and understand where the buyers chipped in, and then which could give you a bit of a clarity in terms of positioning yourself at the right direction. So now, when we look at the order flow chart of the Bank Nifty, we can see that it was close to 55,506, and it has opened at around 55,200 and about 400 to 500 point gap down. And we know that the sellers were dominating right from the open, and they were pushing the price lower, and they took it all the way down to 54,600 levels. And if you notice at some point in time, which is around 12 o'clock, we can see the buyers were chipping in at these levels. You can see this magenta color. The buyers were chipping in, and also the same time, the delta was little minimal. And even if you notice that the selling were literally stopped at these bars, which is around 10:15, 10 o'clock and to 10:30. And you can see that the max delta is almost very minimal. And following by that, again, the max delta is very minimal. And the next bar, you can see that the min delta is very minimal. So this means that the buyers and sellers are exchanging hands. Till this bar, sellers were pretty active. And at this bar, buyers stepped in. And after that, it never touched that level. So this is how we would spot the exchange of contracts between the buyers and sellers in the order flow chart. Okay, if we look at the candlestick chart, you would not have any idea whether the candle is going to go down or the candle is going to bounce back. But if you use the order flow chart, it will give you a lot of insight into what is actually happening inside the bar, which could give you better clarity and how to position yourself in the market. And if you look at this is a very classical example of how the market has behaved and how the buyers and sellers have interacted today. This level was never broken today, which is almost like 54,600, and post which you had a good buying happened and followed by the buying interest at these levels, and it continued. And in fact, has opened above the day's high. So order flow chart is very useful for spotting the differences between the buyers and sellers and what they are actually doing and how these contracts are getting exchanged in real time. And I do conduct YouTube live every day where we discuss all these informations in live market. And also I do have the trading view chart. Let me go back to the trading view chart one more time, where you could see a kind of a little bit of a mimic of what is happening on the real time. So if you look at this on the other day, yesterday, market was started selling at 56,500 levels, and it went all the way down by almost like 800 points. And then the buyers stepped in at these levels and pushed the market higher. Okay. And this could be a very useful tool which you could use it for your for you to develop your trading capacity. Okay. And similar concept in the Nifty as well. If you look at this, we had a bunch of selling started happening at these levels at 24,450, and from then on, the market was falling and it went all the way down up to 23,850 levels, and then the buyers chipped in at these levels and pushed the market higher. So sellers pushed the market down by almost 800 points or 600, 700 points. And then buyers pushed the market from 850 all the way up to 130, which is about 300 points. So this tool will be very helpful in spotting the buyers and sellers activity, which could enhance your learning from the trading perspective. I hope you like this video. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bye-bye.